Today, we will be able to find coterminal angles. What is a coterminal angle? Coterminal angles are angles that start and stop at the same place, meaning they have the same initial and terminal side. So let's look at an example real quick. Here's a 30-degree angle. Here's a 390-degree angle. Notice they both have the same initial and terminal side. They're 360 degrees apart in the positive direction. They're coterminal. Here's another example, negative 330 degrees. Notice it has the same initial and terminal side as the 30 and 390. I get there by going negative 360. These are all three coterminal angles. How do we find coterminal angles? You either add or subtract 360 or 2 pi to any angle to find a coterminal angle. You may need to do this more than once, okay? But that's it. That's the only rule for today. Add or subtract 360 or 2 pi to any angle to find a coterminal angle. All right, let's see. Let me get to the examples. All right, are the angles coterminal? So I'm following the directions of your worksheet, and you have a couple of sections on are the angles coterminal. So here we go. Here's an example. 35 and 350 degrees. Are they coterminal? Meaning, are they 360 degrees apart? We'll take 35 and add 360, and that gives you 395. That went past 350, so the answer here is no, they're not coterminal. All right, let's try 7 pi over 12 and negative 31 pi over 12. Notice I'm no longer in degrees, so I'm no longer going to use 360. I'm going to use 2 pi. And notice I'm going from a positive number to a negative number. So instead of adding, I'm going to subtract. So I'm going to do 7 pi over 12 minus 2 pi. In my calculator, I'm going to do 7 over 12 minus 2. Remember, we do not put pi in the calculator, only in the final answer on the paper. Okay? That gives me negative 17 pi over 12. Well, is that negative 31 pi over 12? No. But it's also not past it, and I either want to get to it or go past it. So I'm going to do it again. Negative 17 pi over 12 minus 2 pi. This time I get negative 41 pi over 12. That's gone past it, so the answer here is no. All right, let's try another example. 25 pi over 18 and 61 pi over 18. Notice I still have pi in my problem, so I'm still going to be using 2 pi. And I'm going from a positive to a positive, from a smaller number to a bigger number, so I'm going to add 25 pi over 18 plus 2 pi. In my calculator, that's 25 over 18 plus 2. And it gives me 61 pi over 18. That's what I was looking for, so the answer is yes. All right, I have 140 and negative 580. I'm back to 360 because I'm in degrees again. So I'm going from a positive to a negative, so I'm going to say 140 minus 360, and that's negative 220. Well, that's not quite what I want. I want negative 580, so I'm going to do it again. Negative 220 minus 360 gives me negative 580. That's exactly what I'm looking for, so the answer is yes. All right, let's look at a different set of directions for another part on your worksheet. Find a positive and negative coterminal angle. So the directions are telling me to find both positive and negative, so I'm going to have two answers. So here we go. Negative 107 pi over 90. Remember, the rule for today is to add or subtract 360 or 2 pi from your angle. Well, my angle's in radians, so I'm going to use 2 pi. I want a positive and a negative coterminal angle. So the first thing I'm going to do is add negative 107 pi over 90 plus 2 pi. That gives me 73 pi over 90, so that's my positive answer. Now I'm going to do negative 107 pi over 90 minus 2 pi. Gives me negative 287 pi over 90. That's my negative answer. So both a positive and a negative. All right? Next example. 17 pi over 3. All right? So we're going to start off the same way. We're going to add 17 pi over 3 plus 2 pi. And that gives me 23 pi over 3. That's my positive answer. Let's go for the negative answer. 17 pi over 3 minus 2 pi. That gives me 11 pi over 3. Is that negative? No, it's not. So I got to do it again. 11 pi over 3 minus 2 pi equals 5 pi over 3. Is that my answer? No, it's not, because it's not negative. So I've got to do it one more time. 5 pi over 3 minus 2 pi equals negative 1 pi over 3, or negative pi over 3. That is in fact negative, so that's my negative answer. So remember, you may have to do it more than one time, and you have to do it until you get to negative. Don't stop at the positive because you already have a positive. All right? Next section. Find a coterminal angle between 0 and 2 pi. Remember coterminal angles. To find coterminal angles, you add or subtract 360 or 2 pi until you get your answer. All right, I have 91 pi over 30. And they want my answer to be between 0 and 2. 0 and 2 pi. So I'm at 91 pi over 30. So I'm going to subtract 2 pi. 91 pi over 30 minus 2 pi. And that equals 31 pi over 30. How do I know if that's where I stop? Well, I want my answer to be between 0 and 2 pi. So put the fraction without the pi. Put 31 over 30 in your calculator and hit enter. When you hit enter, you should get 1.0333 repeating. Okay? Is that number between 0 and 2? Yes, it is. So that's your final answer. 31 pi over 30. Not the decimal. The fraction is your final answer. All right, let's try another one. Let's try 29 pi over 6. Okay? All right, 29 pi over 6 minus 2 pi gives me 17 pi over 6. If I put 17 over 6 in my calculator, that answer is bigger than 2. So I'm going to do it again. 17 pi over 6 minus 2 pi. This time I get 5 pi over 6. When I put that in my calculator, my decimal is a number between 0 and 2, so that's my final answer. All right, last example. Negative 28 pi over 5. Remember, I want my answer between 0 and 2, which is a positive number. And I'm starting with a negative number, so I'm going to add 2 pi. Negative 28 pi over 5 plus 2 pi gives me negative 18 pi over 5. Again, this is negative, and I want my answer to be positive between 0 and 2. So I'm going to add 2 pi again. And it gives me negative 8 pi over 5. I'm still negative, so I'm going to add 2 pi again. Negative 8 pi over 5 plus 2 pi gives me 2 pi over 5. And you put 2 over 5 in the calculator, gives you a number between 0 and 2, so that's your final answer.